Hello, everybody, and welcome to the VBA Poke Center update, week number 4. We're almost halfway through the season, and it's been quite a journey. Next week, we're gonna do a award ceremony type thing, mid-season awards. So those are all going to be voted on by me, and will be, put up to a panel of judges who include me. And and I'm gonna have Leaf pick out the spiciest play of all of them as a award as well. So yeah, be an exciting little award show, and yeah. So I would say we give out trophies, but your boy's poor, so I ain't trying to give out no trophies. And the categories will be determined, so we'll see what those are. But without further ado, let's get to the games this week. We had a lot of exciting games. We had some really good teams facing off against each other this week. And some interesting outcomes, some very surprising as well. So we're going to start off with the ones that don't have videos, so we're just going to go through those ones kind of quickly here. So on our first match, we do have the Minchinos and the Drapions. You see the Minchinos that have the record of 2-1 with 19 kills. Swampert being the number 1 Brock Pokemon. I think it's the number 1 Brock Pokemon in the whole league, actually. That and Melodic, I believe. 57% game win percentage, and we have the Drapions 0-3 going into this one. 17 kills for being 0-3 is pretty okay. Dragapult and only 14% game win percentage. And looking at their teams here, we do see the Alolan Ninetales. We see the Metagross, Swampert, Walrein, Crobat, Grimmsnarl, and we see Dragapult, Rotom, Slowbro, Mr. Mime, Torracat, and Babinicle. And actually, the Drapions end up picking up this victory. Once again, we don't know how, we don't know where, we don't know what got kills, but congratulations to the Drapions for getting their first win. So
I would have loved to see that match. Both those team sheets looks pretty scary.
Yeah, they look like some fun teams. If you look at those sets closely, it looks like there's a couple of fun sets. So, yeah, unfortunately, not everybody has the capability to do the recording. But yeah, congratulations to the Drapions. Our second game, we got the Flareons versus the Berserkers. Berserkers obviously picking up that fantastic win last week against the Grimmsnarls. Flareons 2-1 with 18 kills. Vaporeon being the most brought, and 57% game win percentage. 2-1 Berserkers, 16 kills. Raichu, and 38% game win percentage. And we have Vaporeon being brought again. Rotom, Scrafty, Whimsicott, Mr. Rhyme, and Dracovish against Raichu, Vanilluxe, Berserker, Arcanine, Kommo-o, and Rapidash. And in this one, the Flareons actually pick up the 2-0. On this, probably brought the Vaporeon. I'm gonna just assume Vaporeon got 12 kills in this one, but
probably
seems reasonable. So yeah, congratulations to the Flareons for picking up that one. Berserkers once again had that fantastic win last week. If they could play like they played last week, I think they can win a few more as well. So have to wait and see. And the last one, this just the results of this one just came in. So. We don't even have team sheets for this one. We got the Guzzlords versus the Tyrannotars. Got 0-3 with 23 kills. The Guzzlords and the Binnacles have played the most matches out of anybody going into this week. Excadrill, 33% game win percentage. Tyrannotars 2-1, 19 kills. Corviknight, 67% game win percentage. And we found out just now, Tyrannotars won this one in a 2-0. So congratulations to the Tyrannotars going to 3-1. Guzzlords dropping to 0-4, unfortunately. I mean, Bubble's a pretty good player. I don't know what has been going on with this season. Maybe just making some bad calls. Like I said, he's a Game 2 champion. Obviously, this one he got 2-0'd, so he wasn't in this one. But overall, he's usually a Game 2 champion. So I don't know what happened, but
I like seeing the 0-3 player have higher kills than the 2-1 player.
Just because he's played so many games, and he keeps going 4-0s in Game 2, and then he only loses by 1 Pokemon in Game 4, so he's getting a lot of kills. He's just not putting away the game. So I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll get his first win soon. So
against me this week.
Oh, is he facing you this week? Okay.
We're both 0-4. We're playing against each other.
All right. That'll be interesting. Watch. This week we do not have our most look forward to match, unfortunately, but yeah, I'll look forward to that one. I like to see the lower seeds face each other because it's always some jank coming and it's always fun. Everybody's just trying to push for a win, so I like to see it. But yeah, so let's get into the actual games that we're actually able to see videos of, and the first ones we got is the Weasels and the Dragons. We got 0-3 versus 2-1, 17 to 12 kills. Kingdra to Dragapult, 25 to 33% game win percentage. Big Dragon fans, both of these guys bringing their dragons every week. And on the Weasels, we got Munchlax, Carbink, Fungus, Escavalier, Politoed, Incineroar. So we don't even see the Kingdra this week. Maybe taking a little bit of our suggestion there. And then we got Dragapult, Dragazult, Hippowdon, Hitmontop, Dryalgae, and Penurchin. Just bringing all of the dragons, making up for the lack of dragons on the Weasels here. And early on, we see some interesting stuff. So we see the Carbink Incin lead against Hippowdon and the Dragazult, sorry. And this did not go the way that Hawk would have wanted. As pretty early on, Munchlax comes in and is able to set up a belly drum in that trick room. This Carbink was bulky, dude. This Carbink was bulky. I think that the Dragons did make a few mistakes not going for the Bolt Break, instead going for some other attacks that might have been super effective, but those usually just do less damage. We saw a Scold come out the Penurchin instead of a Rising Voltage, which would have did more damage in electric terrain, even though it was super effective against the Carbink. So just moves like that could probably improve this, but we see Munchlax kill Penurchin first, before Incineroar kills the Dracozult, and then we just see Munchlax kill Hippowdon and Hitmontop, and it was kind of just over with this. Munchlax just doing absolute work in this game one. You love to see it. Hey, Munchlax is good. So
Munchlax is really good.
I mean, it's just a weaker Snorlax, but it's bulkier than kind of bulkier than Snorlax. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's not bad. But game two, we see Incin Carbink, so the exact same lead against Hitmontop and Dragapult, which the Dragons actually didn't bring game one. And we see pretty much the same thing. Carbink ends up killing the Dracozult, but the Munchlax ends up coming in and just killing the Hippowdon, the Hitmontop, and the Dragapult, getting another 3 kills. Escavalier did go down to the Hippowdon. Fire Fang took that out there. Which this was another one where Bolt Break would have did more than the Fire Fang to the Escavalier because of the double damage. It pretty much, I don't know, but yeah. So it was interesting to see that this Munchlax could do so much work. He didn't have anything for it.
Bro, out of 8 kills, Munchlax got 6 of them.
He did get 6 kills, being the MVP of this set here.
Munchlax, where was the adjustment, bro? It's Munchlax.
I mean, it is what it is, but we see only 1 kill in 2 games, with the Dragons being tied for the least amount of kills in the whole league, tied with somebody else who's in this video, and yeah, it's a little rough because this team has a lot of strong attackers, but he's not able to kind of put it together yet, and maybe in the next couple of weeks he can kind of tie something together. So yeah, but it's nice to see the Weasels able to get their first win without bringing that Kingdra or bringing that Rain mode altogether. So we kind of talked about that the last couple of weeks, whereas was the Rain holding them back, and it kind of seems like the Rain might have been holding them back. So Munchlax. Munchlax.
Munchlax good.
Munchlax good. So yeah, congratulations to the Weasels for getting that. And our next game we have the Latchkey Kids versus the Greninjas. We got 0-3 versus 2-1, 13 kills to 19 kills. Dracovish versus Indeedee on the most brought Pokemon, 14% to 57%. And we'll bring up the team sheets here. We see the Klefki, Obstagoon, a Bolton, Dracovish, Driftbloom, and Phalanx versus the Audino, Altaria, Scrafty, Togekiss, Flygon, and Heatmore. I'm going to rephrase this. We see the Latchkey Kids team versus Togekiss, Flygon in this one. Because that's all we saw. We didn't see any other Pokemon. Yeah, you're just going to say it. Your team was weak to Togekiss this week. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You know,
my team always. I'm weak to Togekiss.
I think everybody's weak to Togekiss.
So realistically, I'm gonna be real here. It's not. I don't think it's the Togekiss. The Togekiss wasn't what gave me the most problems. So the big part of the draft league is mental battles, and I came into this battle with the assumption that he was gonna go Parasong just for the big D move. Because I'm the Parasong user. I talk a lot of crap with Parasong, so I thought he was bringing it. So I left the taunt behind because I thought that Throat Chop having Stab on Obstagoon would have shut down the Parasong. So I chose Throat Chop over Taunt. If I brought Taunt, I think it would have been different. I also think I misled game 2, but some mistakes were made. I almost had a steal move on Klefki, and I just decided against it. But either way, it's a L for sure. Like a bit, it's a L for sure.
Yeah. So in the first game, we see Klefki, Obstagoon, Dracovish, Phalanx is your Pokemon there against Togekiss and Flygon. Audino and Heatmore were in the back. This Flygon was kind of able to control the field while the Flygon set up the Dragon Dances, and it got 2 Dragon Dances off and was just able to outspeed all of your Pokemon, even Dracovish with the Choice Scarf. So it was going to be a very difficult Pokemon. In game 2, you forgot that Dragon was Dragon and Ground, and you went for the Thunder Wave on it. And,
like twice.
Yeah, unfortunately it does not work. I was like, maybe he'll follow me, and he didn't follow me for your sake, I was hoping, but yeah, we see Flygon do much of the same. I think it set up 1 Dragon Dance in this one and was able to sweep the team just the same, with Togekiss picking up 1 kill in each of those against Obstagoon and Phalanx in the second game. Klefki, Boltund being the lead for the kids in the second game. But yeah, we just saw Flygon, Togekiss, Audino, Scrafty was brought in game 2, but they never saw the field. This was a 4-0, 4-0, clean 2-0 for the Greninjas, continuing their run with their... I think they have a pretty interesting team. I wouldn't say it's like the best team in the league, but they're making it work. So
I think they have a great team. I think even if I had more time to prep for the team, because I really only did put about 30 to 40 minutes into the team prep, but even if I had more time to do it, I don't think it would have been easy for me to prep. I think it's pretty versatile team. Yeah,
he has a lot of Pokemon that he can always be bringing, and you just never know which ones he's going to bring, because he has a lot of Pokemon that are in even playing fields. Of course, he has a really good one like Togekiss, but I mean, is he going to bring Heatmore? Is he going to bring Scrafty? He has all these threats that he can potentially bring every week. Audino, I don't know what it does. I used that Mega Audino one time, and I said this is butt, so I never use it again, so I don't know. But so I'll be interested to see what it does. So yeah, so that was a 2-0 victory there. And our next matchup here is going to be the Steel types and the Dhelmise. We got the 1 and 2 Steel types versus the 0 and 3 Demise. 12 kills versus 14 kills. Haxosaurus, Pinerchant. Dhelmise loving that Pinerchant. 29% game win percentage versus 14% game win percentage. And to look at the team sheets here, we got the sorry about the scuffed Steel types one there. It's an actual picture.
It's not that bad.
Electabuzz, Weezing, Incineroar, Behem, Haxosaurus, and Frostmoth. Yeah, it's not that bad considering. And we got it's better than Rhett's, and I mean it's better than Theo's, and yeah, Rhett took a picture. And then we got Marowak, Tangela, Orbeetle, Hitmonlee, Pinerchant, and Hydreigon. I think right out the get-go, just looking at these team sheets, Dhelmise is not really bringing any power. I think there's a lot of support Pokemon. Just from looking at it, there's a lot of support Pokemon and a lot of slower Pokemon and a lot of Pokemon that can't really put pressure on what Rhett's going to be trying to do here. So We see the steel types lead with Incineroar, Haxosaurus, and versus the Marowak and Hitmonlee, which I thought was a pretty decent lead for Dhelmise in this situation. Unfortunately, that Incineroar was part of that lead, and early on, it's able to take out the Hitmonlee after a couple of hits. And then we see the Frostmoth come in, and the Frostmoth does absolute work, getting 2 kills. And Penurchin deciding that he wants to just leave a memento for everybody and sacrificing himself for the greater good of absolutely nobody, just so he doesn't lose it. Doesn't give Red a kill here. So, yeah, Marowak, Hitmonlee, Hydreigon, Penurchin go down in a 4-0 loss to the Steel types, Incineroar, Haxosaurus, Frostmoth, and Weezing. And the Weezing did work as well in both of these games, especially the second game. Weezing, Incineroar being the leads, Orbeetle, Tangela. So we do see the Trick Room. No way for the Steel types to really stop that Trick Room. We see Haxosaurus, Frostmoth in the back, and Marowak, Penurchin, but we see so much of the same, where we do see the Weezing pick up on Marowak as the second kill, but Frostmoth comes in and actually takes out Tangela, and then ends up taking out the Orbeetle as well, and the Penurchin kills himself and uses his memento on his own Orbeetle. So that was something that happened too. So yeah, a clean 4-0, 4-0, 2-0 win to the Steel types. I criticized them a few weeks ago that they didn't have enough power, they weren't bringing enough strength, and he's really showing that some of these Pokemon can get those kills, including the Frostmoth that I had said I'm not a big fan of in the last couple of weeks. So good on the Steel types there.
Yeah, Red showed up.
But the Dhelmise, what can they do to kind of turn their fortunes around? It's tough.
Not bring 2 Pokemon that attack things.
I mean, that's a good example too. I just think bringing this Hydreigon almost every week and this Penurchin every week is kind of being a detriment. I think the Marowak did fantastic this week. It just didn't have the oomph alongside of it. Maybe some helping hands, something like that to bring it to that next level. Maybe utilize the Tangela for more sleep powder. Try to get something up like gravity so you can get some of those sleep powders off. Maybe something like that. Could do some work, but Dhelmise is gonna have to do something to turn it around, as they're dropping down the rankings as well. You hate to see it. I don't want to see anybody not win a game this season. That includes you.
Well, I'm gonna not win a game this season, so it's fine.
All right. Well, our next game we have the Smokers versus the Weezings. So we got the one that's smoking the coughing, and the Weezings trying to get revenge on them. It's 1-2 versus 1-2, 22 kills as a 1-2, 17 Sock, Dracozolt, 38% win game percentage, and 43. I lost my mouse cursor. There we go. And we see the team sheets here. Executor, Primarina, Volcarona, Magneton, Nidoking, and Grookey versus Melodic, Gardevoir, Fletchcinder, Surfetch, Gigalith, and Dracozolt. I gotta tell you, these games were fun to watch. I really enjoyed these.
Roll is always fun to watch.
Yeah,
and so is Trunks. Trunks is really good too to watch.
Yeah, these games were really good. The first game, I don't think that the Smokers were fully prepared for what happened, but they were able to make up with that. We see the Grookey Magneton lead versus the Surfetch Fletchcinder. And we see Volcarona, Nidoking in the back versus Dracozolt and Gardevoir. And of course, this is a very fast Gardevoir. The Grookey did some work, man. The
Grookey did so much work.
And Surfetch kills the Magneton pretty early on. Though we did see a Brave Bird into the Magneton do like 6 damage, I think it was. Not able to kill it. He was trying not to use the close combat again, but was unable to do that. And then we just see Volcarona come in and set up a Quiver Dance, and that did some work. And yeah, at the end of the game, it ended up being Grookey versus Gardevoir, and Grookey got the better of the game and actually won the game for the Smokers with the little old Grookey. You love to see it.
Little old Grookey.
Game 2, we see the Grookey Executor, so already setting up that grass synergy there against the Cinder, the Fletch Cinder, and Surfetched again. But this game went a little bit different as Volcarona was able to come in later on after the death of the Executor. But we see Surfetch actually kill himself with Brave Bird as the very first thing. Gardevoir comes in and just does some work, killing Executor and Nidoking before being defeated by that Volcarona. And Nidoking and Melodic coming in and just cleaning up the Volcarona and the Grookey to kind of end the game there. Grookey surviving to the end in both of these games. Pretty impressive work for that man. Then there was a game 3. And this one kind of felt sad because we see Magneton. He's pretty decent, but Grookey gets one shot via a crit from Surfetched. And then we see Primarina come in and get absolutely destroyed by a crit from Surfetched. So it just be like that sometimes, you know. And then the Magneton did pick up the kill on the Surfetch, but the Gardevoir was able to come in and just pick up the last 2 Pokemon, and we didn't even get to see the third one as Fletch Cinder, Surfetch were that lead there. So yeah, just a couple of unfortunate crits, you know. Yeah, Surfetch has a good chance to crit, but at the same time, it does feel bad that he didn't crit in any of the other attacks, and then he crits in these ones to end the game. So yeah, so the Weezings pick it up 2-1 in this one, and yeah, pretty good games though. If you're gonna go watch one this week, I would definitely suggest this one and the next one we're gonna talk about. Those are probably my 2 favorite games of the week. But yeah, so
oh yeah, the next one's good.
Yeah, we got the Binnacles and the Stunfisks as our next one. We got 2-1 versus, or 1-2 versus 2-1, 21 kills to 24 kills. Once again, the Binnacles have played the most games in the league going through week 4. Pelipper's Minshao, 44% game win percentage, 62% game win percentage. Let's go look at these teams here. We have the Dusknoir coming again. Lucario, Marowak, Persian, Rapidash, and Rotom versus Trapeon, Luxray, Jellicent, Claydol, Minshao, and Amoonguss. Now, I just want to say, I'm a huge fan of Claydol. That's just in general. I really like Claydol. I think he's really cool.
Same.
But this game 1 was something. Was absolutely something. We see Alolan Persian Dusknoir as the leads for the Binnacles versus Trapeon, Luxray, Marowak, Rotom being in the back for the Binnacles, and Jellicent, Claydol. And what we see is Claydol coming out and getting a kill on Persian. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. And then it went to time. The Binnacles lost because they ran out of time. So a free victory for the Stunfisk, but this is a long game. This was a lot of maneuvering, and this is a lot of just get into both players trying to get into a good position, and some bulky Pokemon, and it just ended up in a draw. So, I mean, not a draw. I lost for the Binnacles because they ran.
Well,
out of time.
the thing about this is that they're both close friends, IRL, kind of like me and you or me and Hawk, and they know how each other play. So, you know, when two you know, like rivals or whatever, 2 best friends go at each other, they know how each other play. So you're gonna see a lot of those games go to time, especially when they make big brain plays like they do.
Yeah, it was a really fun game to watch. It was definitely something. Definitely go watch game 1 of this if you don't watch the whole thing. Watch game 1. Game 2, we see the Alolan Persian Lucario lead against the Amoonguss Drapion, so switching up on both sides. But Marowak, Rotom being in the back, and that's kind of a big deal here. Versus the Jellicent and Claydol. But unfortunately, the Jellicent and Claydol weren't able to do anything in this game like they did in the first one, and we do see the Amoonguss go down really early to Lucario thanks to Fake Tears, I believe. And yeah, it was kind of just the wash on this one. Marowak does pick up a kill on Persian and Drapion. Drapion does get a few kills in this. He kills Lucario and Rotom, but not before Rotom can kill both Claydol and Jellicent, giving the 1-0 victory over to the Binnacles in this one. Yeah, it was pretty clean. It was pretty clean by the Binnacles. It looks a lot closer than I think it actually was, mostly because of that Persian got killed by its own Marowak, but it was in a situation where that was the play to make, and it was going to be game over getting off that play. So, pretty clean. Pretty clean. And then game 3, we see Persian and Rapidash as the lead, switching up there. Minshao and Jellicent. So nobody's staying the same. But we see that same Marowak and Rotom in the back for the Binnacles, and we see Amoonguss and Claydol being brought for the 3rd straight time, but it was once again unable to do anything. We do see a Rapidash death from Jellicent thanks to a crit Shadow Ball, which seemed like it was going to be a big deal going into the game, but this Rotom fan was just too strong in this matchup with the Alolan Persian be able to go for those fake tears, lowering that special defense on Amoonguss, Minshao, and Claydol. So Rotom is able to pick up 3 more kills to go along with the 2 kills it got into in the last match there. And Jellicent picking up 2 kills, but it just wasn't enough. And yeah, the Binnacles take this one 2-0 and 2-1 overall, with the MVP I say being Rotom Fan getting 5 kills. So
wait, Rotom Fan?
Yeah, Rotom Fan.
Rotom Fan got an MVP?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
The worst Rotom?
Yeah,
the worst Rotom?
It's true. I mean, if this was Rotom Wash, this would have been a better game. And the last one was Gardevoir. But I mean, what was Rotom Fan? I think he was a tier 4. So I mean, for a tier 4 or whatever, he's not bad.
Value.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And he covers one of his own weaknesses, so I mean, it's not bad either. This next game, going into the next game, we have the Bashers versus the Sableyes. We got 2-1 versus 3-0, 23 kills to 25. Archeops versus Indeedee female. Indeedee, very, very common Pokemon by everybody who picked it. 71% versus 80%. These team sheets right here. And we have the Slowking, Galar Slowking, which I love. Rillaboom, the Clawitster, the Magmortar, Magnezone, and Comfey versus Mandibuzz, Flygon, second Flygon we've seen today, Indeedee, Mawile, Lilligant, and the Ninetales. I like both of these team lineups, honestly. I think they're both a lot of fun. They can do a lot of things, but keep an eye on that Comfey because that looks a little bit different right there, so just keep that in mind as we go. So game 1, we see Galar, Slowking, and Magmortar as the leads against the Ninetales, Lilligant. So it's looking like After You stuff maybe, or, you know, some Sleep Powder stuff. But it was some Sleep Powder onto Slowking, but it wasn't enough. It just seemed a little weak. The Slowking was able to kind of just take this whole game. He just took the whole game by himself, netting himself 4 kills in this one, killing the whole Sableyes team by himself. Magmortar did go down to the Mandibuzz, but other than that, this Slowking killed Indeedee and Lilligant with 1 attack. And of course, that was helped by Indeedee setting up the Psychic Terrain for the Slowking, and then picking up the other 2 later on. So yeah, it was pretty clean by the Slowking. Did some work.
As Slowking does, though. As Slowking does.
We saw the Comfey come in, but the Comfey just switched out to the Rillaboom because he didn't want to give away any of his strats because he was going for such a unique set here. So, yeah. So that was very interesting. But game 2, if you liked game 1 of Rhett versus the Stunfisk, you'll love game 2 of the Bashers versus the Sableyes. So we see the Klutzer Magmortar versus the Flygon Ninetales, and this is Cantonian Ninetales, by the way. And right away we see Rillaboom switching, and the prediction by the Ninetales to go for that flamethrower into that slot, taking out the Rillaboom in the sun. It looked like it was just victory from there for the Sableyes, but No, this was a very even game.
Even in fact.
It was very, very even. We see Magmortar take out the Ninetales. Of course, with that sun up, Magmortar is going to be a lot more dangerous. And then we just see just Pokemon coming in. We see Comfy get a kill on Indeedee with the Leech Seed. But at the end of all of this scrap, the scrap here, we see Comfy, Mandibuzz sitting side by side. Comfy has the Leech Seed on the Mandibuzz. The Mandibuzz has Roost. This is like 15 turns of I'ma click Roost, I'ma click Protect, I'ma click Pollen Puff, I'ma click Roost. But at the end of it, it was just too much for the Mandibuzz, too much healing back for the Comfy. And the Bashers take it on time. That's how it went. They just took it on time. So it was a 1-1 victory for the Bashers, a 2-0 overall. Bashers beating the undefeated Sableye in this one. I didn't expect it to go this way, especially that game 1. So, you know, Slowking Galler. That's why I drafted him last season. He's really good. He's really, really good. I didn't draft him because I wanted to. I drafted him because everybody told me to. But that's why I was happy to have him. But this was a very good game. Bashers kind of playing out of their minds right now after, I believe they lost week 1. After losing week 1, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. So credit to them. In this next one here, we have the Kinglers versus the Spoinks. I believe this was your most looked forward to game last week.
Yep.
And we have the 2-1 versus 2-1, 22 kills to 21 kills. Primarina, Gyarados, 57% game winning percentage. As even as you can get. Even their Pokemon are both water types. Very, very even matchup here. And as we look at this, we see the Frostlass being brought here. We get the Torracat, the Throw, Primarina, Garchomp, and Rotom against the Ninetales, Gyarados, Salamence, Nidoqueen, Salazzle, and Aegislash. That team is looking scary on the Spoinks right there. That looks like I can bring that right now, you know what I mean? So, Kingler's got a lot of work to do. Game 1, we see the Torracat and the Rotom Heat against Gyarados and Alolan Ninetales. And pretty early on, the Rotom is able to figure out that this Ninetales does not have a Focus Sash on it and just one-shot it with an Overheat. And we see the Garchomp coming out and killing the Nidoqueen. Oh, did I say the MVP of that last game was Slowking? But Salamence did absolute work in this one. Nidoqueen came in, did kill Primarina and Rotom, but the Salamence took out Torracat and the Garchomp. So, yeah, Spoinks were able to take this one in a very close match. This is a really good match, too, here. Game 2, we see the Kinglers and the Spoinks. We see Rotom, Torracat versus Gyarados and Ninetales. So going for the exact same lead on the Spoinks side and setting up that hail pretty early. The Primarina would come in later on at the end of the game to take out the Salazzle to take the victory for the Kinglers, but not before Gyarados dies early on to the hail. You hate to see it. You hate to see things like that. But yeah, Primarina putting in some work. Rotom killing that Ninetales once again. Also surviving a attack from this Gyarados waterfall, which was pretty impressive. Pretty bulky Rotom. Of course, the Torracat lowering its attack helps too, but it still wouldn't have killed even if it wasn't intimidated. And this Nidoqueen killing the Torracat, but yeah, Kinglers take this one 2-0 with Primarina and Garchomp being the last two. And then going into game 3, we see the same Torracat Rotom 3 games in a row against Salazzle Salamence, making a good adjustment by the Spoinks here, putting them in a position to have 2 special attackers against that Intimidate this time. And we see the Salamence actually kill the Rotom pretty early, and a turn or so later, the Torracat goes down to the Salazzle. We see the Primarina come in and the Garchomp. Garchomp this was a special Garchomp, by the way. Goes and kills the Salamence, but it was unable to switch back out because the Torracat died, meaning the Garchomp was going to be playing with the -2 special attack for the rest of the game. And the Primarina comes in and kills the Salazzle. Of course, Salazzle taking some chip damage, so even if it had Focus Sash, it wouldn't have been able to survive. But the Ninetales coming in and just ending the game with a hail damage and with a with a blizzard. So 2-0 and a 2-1 total victory to the Spoink. So this was a really good game. It was a good choice by you to make this year most looked forward to game.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not anyone to talk being 0-4 right now. But I think Krabby's like, because Krabby has a really good team. And Ryan has a really good team. But I think Krabby's biggest weakness in the league right now is that every time, or at least most of the time, he gets a win with a lead. He's pretty predictable to bring that same exact lead the next time. He doesn't really think about switching it up for the game 3 if he wins the game 2 with that lead, or even game 1. If he gets game 1 with a lead, he's bringing the same lead game 2 no matter what. We see that more often than not with Krabby. So I think if he thought about switching it up a little more, I think he'd probably win even more than he has been. Second drawback, I don't know what the special chomp was about. It throws someone off at first, but I think that the special chomp kind of didn't have enough reach.
I mean, what's his special attack? I think it's 80 or 90 at most, and his physical attack's 130. So you're never going to be able to compare the damage that special and physical are going to do. Dragon Claw's, if it is 80, Dragon Claw's always going to do the same damage around that Draco Meteor is going to do. Of course, you can't be intimidated, so that's the advantage, but it's just, you're missing that. When he would go with Earth Power on the Nidoqueen, it just felt weak, you know? And that's the thing. But you want to be, you want to be spicy, you got to be spicy sometimes, so you got to go
want to be spicy, you got to try to be spicy. I get it.
Yeah. So, yeah, but he brought the same 4 Pokemon for all 4 games, and yeah, that becomes like, okay, well, I can adjust this. Like you saw the Spoinks adjust to, especially in Game 3, where they were just able to go with a lead that would counter that same Torracat Rotom Heat lead, and just put them in a fantastic position, getting the double kill on that, with the Ninetales being good against both Primarina and Garchomp at the end. So, and Nidoqueen sitting back there, able to kill that Primarina as well. So, it was kind of a no-brainer there. So, yeah, got to see some more adjustments from the Kinglers, and I think they could be, they could have a couple more wins. They could be undefeated
for sure.
So our next game here, we're going to go into the Tricos and the Grimmsnarls. So we got 3-0 to the newly demoted 2-1 Grimmsnarls. 25 kills to 24. Garchomp, Asmodee. I like seeing the Asmodee up there. 86% game win percentage for the Tricos right now, and 71% for the Grimmsnarls. Just to put it in perspective, Tricos have by far the highest game win percentage. We see Charizard, Meowstic, Toxicroak, Starmie, Garchomp, Vikavolt, with some fun stuff happening with all of that. We see Thwackey, Noivern, Asmodee, Cinderace, Bisharp, and the Crustle, the newly picked up Crustle, being brought by the Grimmsnarls. And early on, we see the Meowstic, Starmie, just like we saw in Week 1 that we were all impressed by, as the leads against Crustle, the newly brought Crustle, and Noivern. But, yeah, Grimmsnarls were not ready for what the Starmie wanted to do today. This Starmie had some fun in this game, as he was able to set up a Cosmic Power, and then a couple of turns later, kill the Crustle. Well, the next turn later, he killed Crustle, and then they were able to give him Prankster via that Meowstic skill swap, so he could do Prankster recovery, and that is crazy, and was able to make him survive. So Starmie was able to kill Crustle, Asmodee, Bisharp, and Noivern. And this game, despite being like a sweep by Starmie, the Grimmsnarls actually did a fantastic job trying to stay in the game by Bisharp killing Vikavolt, Meowstic, and then Asmodee also killing the Garchomp pretty early on too. So it was down to just Starmie versus the Bisharp and the Noivern. So it was taking attacks from both of these guys, throat chops right to the Starmie, super effective attack, doing about 30 to 40% and then taking attacks from Noivern from that Draco Meteor at the same time, which obviously gets worse and worse. But if you get the crit, you could just win the game with the crit. It's crazy. It's crazy seeing the Starmie just doing some work, in a different way.
I feel like despite Starmie going absolutely ham, I obviously agree. Like, I feel like this game still could have been won. This game still could have been won, which was crazy. It was actually really enjoyable to watch. Regardless of the outcome, I think this game still would have been equally as enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, one crit from either Noivern or Bisharp, and it was over for the Starmie. That's the risk in these setup kind of Pokemon is doesn't matter if they get the crit, So
it do be spicy though.
it was pretty good. But going into game 2, we see Charizard Toxicroak against Cinderace Noivern. It looked like the Grimmsnarls kind of brought the Cinderace to try to maybe deal with the Starmie, but Trico's didn't even bring the Starmie. They didn't even bring the Meowstic. They brought Charizard, Toxicroak, Garchomp, Vikavolt against Cinderace, Noivern, Bisharp, and Azumarill. And it just seemed like they were putting the Grimmsnarls on their back foot the whole time. We see the Charizard kind of being a little bit of a different set than you normally would see. And we see the Garchomp switch in early and take a predicted Draco Meteor. Which was pretty crazy, and just absolutely get annihilated by this Noivern. And then we see the Charizard actually kill the Noivern. It had Rock Tomb, which was doing pretty good damage and lowering the speed of the Noivern. And Vikavolt was able to come in and kill the Cinderace. It took a Flare Blitz thanks to that berry in Vikavolt's and it was a crit too. It was a crit, and Vikavolt's like, nah. He was like you could hear him talking in the back. He's like, that's fine.
I'll take this for you.
Yeah, so Charizard ends up picking Noivern and Bisharp up. Vikavolt taking up Cinderace, and Toxicroak coming in and taking out Azumarill with the Poison Jab at the end. So clean 3-0 to the Tricos, winning 2-0 against the Grimmsnarls. Do you think maybe the Grimmsnarls got shook from losing last week?
I don't know. I think it's definitely a possibility. Definitely a fair train of thought. But I also know the Tricos are absolutely cracked. They're cracked. So I mean, I don't. It's too early to tell if they're shook. We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it has to do with the Tricos just having something that the Grimmsnarls were not ready for. Just that little bit of extra oomph on their Pokemon, and sometimes that's all it takes.
I do think maybe they were at shook game 2 though, because getting 4-0'd by a Starmie, pretty much, 4-0'd quote unquote by a Starmie, that's gotta hit. Like, that would hurt me. I'd be shook game 2. I would absolutely be tilted. So
the thing is, what can you use to stop the Meowstic Starmie? I mean, you have to have either redirection or you have to have fake out support, and if you don't have any of those, like the Grimmsnarls didn't have any of those, there's no way to stop it. So your next best bet is I have to do as much damage as I possibly can on turn 1 in order to stop this, and Tricos know that, right? So the Tricos can adjust their team to go, okay, well, I'm not going to bring that because I know they're going to go for this, so now I can bring this setup, and it's going to be a lot better, with the fake out support and the Charizard. So yeah, I mean, it was a great adjustment from the Tricos to realize what was going to happen. I think if the Grimmsnarls brought the same team game 1 that they to game 2, I think they would have won that matchup, because I think the Crustle would have been too much for the Charizard Toxicroak lead. But
yeah, I agree.
Who knows? You know, it's not how it worked out. So, but I think it was a fantastic game by the Tricos there to just
great set.
Yeah, just bring something and just kind of big brain it, I think. And our last game of the week is our biggest game of the week. We got the 3-0 Arcanines versus the 3-0 Rebellions. 21 kills to 26 kills. Liepard, Dragonite, 75% game win percentages. This was a fantastic game.
I will say that one of these players is no longer undefeated.
That's true. they drew, so technically. No. We see Arctivish, Aromatisse, Berserker, Indeedee female, Nidoking, and Liepard against the Relicanth, Whimsicott, Arcanine, Dragonite, Kangaskhan, and Blastoise. Oh yeah, in the last game, Starmie was the MVP. to say it sometimes. I always forget to say it, I'll be honest. So the Arcanines lead with Aromatisse, Indeedee obviously threatening that Trick Room against Arcanine and Relicanth. And pretty early on, this looked like it was going to be Arcanine's game because they do get the Trick Room off and kill the Relicanth pretty early. And the Blastoise was able to come in and actually pick up the Indeedee and then pick up the Aromatisse. And then Dragonite was able to pick up the Arctovish, but Blastoise was still out there and was able to pick up the Nidoking at the end. And we see the Rebellion actually pick up the 2-0 here in this one, with that Blastoise just doing absolute working, 3 kills and just tanking every single hit that it was thrown at it. So it was pretty impressive by the Blastoise. In game 2, we see the Aromatisse Liepard, so still threatening the Trick Room with the Fake Out and everything like that against Relicanth and Arcanine again. So we see the exact same lead. But we see the Arcanine actually kill the Liepard pretty early on with a Snarl, just doing the last bit of damage on it. But Nidoking came in and said, listen, we ain't losing like this again, and actually picking up Relicanth, Blastoise, and Dragonite almost in consecutive turns, with Aromatisse taking out the Arcanine in between. Doing absolute work, this Nidoking. Arctovish didn't get to do anything. He kind of just waited on the sidelines. This Dragonite having the superpower, able to kill the Arctovish, is really good in the favor of Rebellion. But not in that one. And then game 3 happened.
Game 3 was a game.
And we see Aromatisse and Indeedee obviously once again threatening that Trick Room. We see the Kangaskhan Blastoise lead with Dragonite Relicanth in the back against the Nidoking Arctovish. And we see Giga Impact from this Kangaskhan onto the Indeedee, destroying every dream this Indeedee ever had. Completely annihilating it. And yeah, from there it was kind of just downhill, though I think there was one play mistake by the Arcanines, is they did go for a Fake Tears onto the Blastoise and Thunderbolted the Kangaskhan. And so if they would have Thunderbolted the Blastoise, this could have been a completely different game. Because taking out that Blastoise, I think, would have been a bigger deal. So just interesting there. And I do have to say, Rebellion in game 2 ran out of time on one of their turns, and did like it was like a Thunderbolt or something onto something that doesn't even hurt really, or whatever. It was something really bad. And yeah, so that led to Rebellion's loss in game 2 as well. But yeah, this Blastoise killed the Nidoking and the Aromatisse, and Relicanth actually killed the Arctovish with the Rocky Head too. So yeah, won this one 4-0. This game 4-0, winning the set 2-1 to the Rebellion. Listen, I've been on that train since day one. I'm just saying, I'm still on the Rebellion train.
Yeah, I think Rebellion, if they keep this up, they have a very strong chance at taking our third season champion slot.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very interesting to see them. Right now, the front runners, the 2 undefeated teams, would be them and the Tricos in the finals.
That's a game.
Listen, I'll watch that. I'll watch that all day.
That's a game.
Yeah, that seems like a fun one. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I was shocked by game 3. I think that one play mistake kind of turned the tides, because I think it was an even game until that one play mistake where the Kangaskhan wasn't really doing anything, where the Blastoise was putting on all the pressure. So I just think that play mistake right there just kind of lost the Arcanines the game.
In our coach interview with Lucian, he actually talked about how this was his most looked forward to game, and it was the game that he was worried about the most. It was both. And if I remember correctly from our coach interview, he said that this was a salty run back, so he kind of had to bring it, and yeah. It looks like he brought it.
Hey, listen, credit to him. I mean, that wasn't an easy win, of course.
It was a great game.
So yeah, it was a fantastic game. Congratulations to the Rebellion. I'm sure the Arcanines are going to bounce back and win at least a few more before the end of the season here. So
yeah, they'll be in playoffs. They need 2 more wins. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. So this week we got a couple of stat sheets. We're going to go for the most kills again. We got the Weezings having Melodic at 11. Kinglers with Primarina at 11. Minchino's Ninetales Alola at 9. Tyranitar's, this is before the Guzzler Tyranitar game was submitted, so I don't know what the stats look like after. But Tyranitar's with Toxtricity with 9. Rebellion Dragonite. Arcanine Nidoking. Nidoqueen from the Spoinks. Politoed still up there despite not doing anything this week. And Starmie now peeking into that top echelon there with 8. But there's not only kills in this league.
Look, we don't even talk about me.
There's also death.
We don't even talk about.
So the top 3 are kind of shocking, okay? You got Dracovish, Dragapult, Dracozolt, okay? Those are all really good Pokemon. So, I'm just saying. Then we got the Guzzlord's Excadrill once again before Guzzlord's played. Then we got Haxosaurus, who in the first couple of weeks was just getting absolutely annihilated by every attack. It's doing better now, so. And then we see Kingdra, Klefki, so we see the kids up here with 2 Pokemon, and we see the Minchinos with Metagross, Delmise with Pinerchin. So yeah, those are the death leaders.
I want a trophy.
Right now. I want a trophy.
No excuse, I live down the street from you.
Listen, I don't know. What do I got for a trophy I could get? I don't think I got nothing.
Make one.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll make you one. Alright, so let's go into the transactions for this week. There was only 4, so not much to talk about. We got Riolu for Lapras. I could see why this could be decent. I do like Riolu, but it only does a few things. Lapras can bring a couple of different variants to it. It could be
like
Super
Perish Song.
It could be Perish Song. It could be a special attacker. It could be a physical defender. It could do quite a few things. So I think Lapras is a good pickup. It can fit on a lot of different teams.
10 out of 10 trade. Perish Song every week from now on, Berserkers.
And now, I don't know if you remember last week, but we saw Mandibuzz be dropped for Aegislash. And now we're seeing the Aegislash get dropped for the Mandibuzz. What's that?
Man, it happens.
Was Ryan listening to us last week and was like, you know what, they're right? Or did he plan this the whole thing? Because that's his last transaction. So he kind of wasted 2 transactions on this one trade.
Like it happens, man. I've been there. I know I haven't, but I've been there. I've thought about being there.
And then we see Sock for Klinklang. Klinklang is cool. He's a setup Pokemon for sure.
I like this. I kind of like this trade a lot.
I don't mind it. I mean, Sock has been doing good for both of the teams that have it this season, but I don't think anybody's ever used Klinklang in the draft league. I could be wrong, but
this is a dumb question. I think Hawk did last season.
Did he might have done.
Yeah. Dumb question. Does Klinklang get wide guard?
It does not. No.
So I guess you got to be a little more careful.
It gets gear grind though.
Yeah, gear grind, real fun.
It gets gear grind, and I think that's the biggest thing. And then the Delmise getting rid of the Swoobat for the Kingler. I mean, the Swoobat is so frail. It's cool if you could ever get off the strat where you just give it 4 million stats and use stored power and just one shot everything. It's cool. But if anybody just has Rock Slide, it just dies. So I think this is all right.
I like the idea of getting rid of Swoobat. I just personally don't know what Kingler does.
Yeah, I mean, if he feels like Intimidate's really strong against his team, I guess Kingler could be really good. Maybe he needed a water type, something like that. It does bring more power to his team because it does have a high attack stat. Though if it gets hit by any leaves at all, like he trips over a leaf, he's just dead. There's a lightning storm out, he's dead. So it is tough in that way, but Delmai still has one trade remaining, so maybe they have a plan for this Kingler to pair it up with something else, you know? Who knows?
Yeah, and Raz is a creative player too, so like I want him to show me what he does with the Kingler.
Yeah, I want to see it as well. Right now he's 0-4, so I mean, what does he have to lose at this point? You got to kind of just go for the spice and just hope.
I mean, he can still make playoffs. You can still make playoffs. You just have to win out.
So I don't know. We'll wait and see. But that's all for the trades this week. I don't know if Guzzlords or Tyrantars have any that haven't gone through because their names haven't been played yet or not.
I got the Tyrantar Guzzlords team sheets.
Oh, you get their team sheets?
I do.
Are you going to be able to show them?
Yeah, I mean, they're on the Discord page, so you could even show them. They're in score reporting.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show it right here because I have to download them and everything first.
Yeah, I can. I'll show it on my screen.
All right, this is live right here, boys.
Live.
Live, unedited.
Live, unedited. Hold on, I gotta.
You don't even have to pay for this content. This is free content right here. And then, of course, we got the Spice of the Week coming up.
We do.
Brought to you by Pikachu in a Basket.
All right, I'm sharing.
All right. So this. Oh, I can hear myself.
All right, so
Hello?
on the.
I can still hear
on
echo.
the. You good?
I can hear echo.
Your echo or mine?
From you.
All right, hold on.
It's fine. It's fine. Just go for the sheet. I won't talk.
All right. So for the Guzzlord side of this one, we have the Gigalith, we have the Braviary, the Mr. Rhyme, the Sneasel, the Flareon, and the Excadrill, which, for the most part, are pretty commonly brought Pokemon, all from Bubble. And from the Tyrantars, we have the Rillaboom, which I feel like has to come like every time. Azumarill, which we already said we love seeing come out. Volcarona, Corviknight, Avalugg, and Rhydon, which personally I love seeing Rhydon come out.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 Rhydon fan. Oh, the echo is permanent now.
Okay, I just stopped. Did you just repeat what you just said?
Yeah, I love the Rhydon. Rhydon's good. I'm interested to see if it did get any kills. Maybe, I don't know if one of them has the sheet or they record it or not. Because I know sometimes Bubble will have his janky record his TV setup. So, do the Tyrantars record? I think they do, right? So we might have a view from them.
I don't remember. However, I can actually tell you if the I can tell you who got kills.
All right, let's hear it.
So we have Excadrill got one direct. Flareon got a direct. Gigalith nothing. Mr. Rhyme nothing. Azumarill nothing. Corviknight got 3 kills.
Oh, let's go. What was the setting like? Oh wait, you don't have it up anymore.
Rhydon got 1 kill.
Let's go.
Nothing for the Volcarona. Nothing for Braviary. Excadrill got another kill, game 2.
2 kills.
Flareon got another kill. Nothing for Mr. Mime. Azumarill got a kill. Corviknight, nothing for this match. And Rhydon getting 2 kills, game 2.
Okay, Rhydon with 3 kills. Corviknight with 3 kills. Okay, I like it.
And then Rillaboom got 1 kill.
Okay, alright. Not bad. Seems like a good game for the Tyrantars there. They were able to kind of use that Rhydon to their advantage. And game 1, I didn't see what the set was. It was too small for me to see. But I'm a guess that it was Iron Defense body press. I'm just saying.
It was body press, Iron Defense, Roost, Tailwind with Grassy Seed.
I don't want to say day 1. I told him, hey, listen, you lost week 1 because you brought the wrong Corviknight. But I want to say, I said week 1 you lost because you brought the wrong Corviknight. I'm just saying. He's pretty good. He's unkillable. He's very hard to kill. Especially Grassy Seed, that's a free +1 defense right there. I mean, if you know somebody's bringing Psychic Terrain, I mean, you can get a free +1 special defense as well. Just bulk him up and just be an absolute monster.
I want to see Grassy Seed trigger, switcheroo, give him the Psychic Seed.
Just give him the double boost. Love to see it.
It'll be good.
You could just acupuncture him. That might be just better, but
that might be like way better, but it won't be as fun to watch.
It's not as fun. It's not as fun. So, anyways, guys, we're gonna go right over to the top 5 spicy plays of the week, brought to you by Pikachu in a Basket. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Starting us off for our top 5 spiciest plays of the week, we have a play from Lucian versus Dan of the Arcanines. We're actually going to be looking at Kangaskhan here. Now, I don't know about you, but it's not too often that you see Kangaskhan running Giga Impact, especially in a competitive setting. So what we're going to see here is we're actually going to see Lucian try to Giga Impact the Aromatisse and Muddy Water, hoping for an accuracy drop. And then Indeedee's going to come out with the Follow Me, not expecting this Giga Impact to absolutely come through and absolutely decimate Indeedee's HP bar. So now, for the rest of the match, Lucian does not have to worry about Follow Me. For our 4th spot of Spice of the Week, we're looking at the match between Goomer and our lad, Ruby T. And we're actually going to see Goomer try to get his Rillaboom in. He's going for some really fun strats between his Rillaboom and his Comfey, trying to set up his Grassy Seed with the Grassy Terrain, eventually leading to the biggest stall of any match I've seen in a long time. But so we see his Clawitzer go out into the Rillaboom. Now what we see here is Ruby T with one of the cleanest reads I've seen in a really long time. So first what we're going to see is we're going to see Flygon back out of there, and Indeedee's going to come out setting the Psychic Terrain, bringing down the Grassy Terrain so that the Grassy Seed on the Comfey doesn't go off. And that same turn, we're going to see Ninetales throw a Flamethrower right into the newly switched in Rillaboom. In my opinion, this is one of the cleanest reads I've seen in a long time. It's actually a shame that it is the number 4 slot. And for our 3rd spot for Spice of the Week, we're looking at a play done by Rolo against the Coughing Smokers. We're watching Coughing Smokers side because Rolo did not record it and put on YouTube. I actually don't even know if he streams, but we have Grassy Terrain down with a Grookey and an Executor that has been set up with Curse. They're going to try to double into Gardevoir with a Grassy Terrain, but yet another great read from a player in the Johto division. We're actually going to see Lachinder throw up a Quick Guard, and what this does is it protects Gardevoir from receiving both of those Grassy Glides. So you can hit it block 1, see it block a second one. Really good play by Rolo, and Gardevoir is going to respond with a Moonblast, actually taking out the Executor, putting Rolo in a very good position. And for our second play of the week, we're looking at the Treeckoes versus the Great Lakes Grimmsnarls. And all I can say here is we're going to see Meowstic skill swap Starmie. And that's really it. Probably one of the spiciest things I've seen in a long time. What this does is this sets Starmie up to be able to get Prankster recovers, Prankster causing powers, and eventually leading up to getting 4 kills in this game 1 against the Great Lakes Grimmsnarls. All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for, the number 1 Spice of the Week play has to go to Munchlax, getting 6 kills in this game against the Island Dragons. Just insane. There's not a single kill here that I could even pick from. I don't understand. We saw Munchlax get 6 kills, and it killed one of the best Pokemon that was even available in the draft. So it was tied for 2nd place with the last play that we just saw, but we had to give 1st place to the Munchlax from this match.
And that was the top 5 spiciest plays of the week, brought to you by Pikachu in a Basket. I mean, that Munchlax getting the kill on the Dragonfall is just like, it's hilarious, man. It's so good.
Bro, Munchlax getting a kill on Dragapult and just getting 6 out of 8 kills? Like, what? You can't. I can't not.
It's decent. Starmie a close second, but Munchlax's decent.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys follow the channel. This is gonna be a constant thing every week. So just drop a follow. It's completely free. I see a lot of people watching this, but we get more views than we have actual subscribers on this channel. So make sure you guys do show the love. Also, next week is going to be that extra special award ceremony show. I have 14 awards to give out. We're going to give one out in between each of the little slides that we do. So look forward to that. We're going to have some fun categories. It's not going to be what you expect. So hope to see you guys then. You got anything else you want to say?
Bring the spice, bro. Because this week, because I feel like every week you've kind of built up, and I'm seeing more and more of it. So I'm here for it. We're here for it. Make these harder to determine, and also send them in to me. I want to hear what you guys think is spicy, not just what I think is spicy. I want you to tell me what you think is spicy. So let me know.
Yeah, even if you're not a coach, send in if you watch the games. Because I know there's some of you out there who just watch the games. Let us know. Message us. Put it, even if you put it in the video discussion board. Just be like, hey, I really like this play.
But also tag me so it doesn't get lost.
Yeah, tag Leaf because he can't check it, and that sometimes it go crazy in there. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys all have a happy New Year, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.